what what is your doctor kind of suggested for you so far? Or I mean, is it
They all they
medication or diet or what?
all they suggest to me is medication. So I've tried lots of medication. I'm currently on one that I've actually stayed on for 3 months. It helps a little bit, but I
Okay.
feel like my body's adjusted to the pain medicine.
Okay.
But I refuse to take any more. I don't like pain medicine, and I've gone through a lot of pain. Now, when I get a really bad headache, I'm like, okay, which medicine is the best one? Because it doesn't make it better because I try to force through it. And it
Gotcha.
puts me down whether I take the medication or whether I don't. So I might as well feel a little better. I've been to about 10 different kinds of specialists. Nobody knows why I have these headaches.
All right.
So I have a headache, and then the whole right side of my head, it has like this extra thing going on it. So a few days ago, right behind my ear, I just can't imagine that my glasses are agitating my head, but let's pretend like it's my glasses.
Okay.
There's a spot back there that has agitated what I feel right now, but I that's like a it's not new to have a spot back there, but it's been so long that it feels new, and it's never felt like this. Like, you're not a girl, so you don't wear headbands or anything that would be tight, but if you had glasses on, imagine having a pair of glasses that's too tight. You
Okay.
take the glasses off, but it still feels like it's tight on your head, but you don't even have anything on your head anymore, and it's been 2 days.
Yeah.
So it's kind of so this is kind of a new thing here. Nobody knows what it is, but I have a new neurologist. So some of the specialists, two neurologists, a headache specialist, they have been absolutely minus zero for help. They've just done nothing. I don't want just medicine, but if we can find some medicine to make me live a more productive life, at this point, I'm like, okay, let's find some drugs. And that's why I'm taking the current one. I've been on it for 3 months. But I'm
Okay.
going to a third neurologist, and he told me that my daughter Micah goes to see him. I just went with her recently, and I mentioned seeing him, and he said we have more headaches go through our office in town than any place else. He said, I think we can help you. We're still looking at medicine, but
Okay.
maybe we can find one that will increase my quality of life. So it's something. So I've had a constant headache since July of 2012. My head's never without pain, but the pain level goes up and down. And for me to not go to church on Sunday and stay in bed is big because I live to go to church and I live for Sundays. And I didn't go this morning, and my family's already gone for tonight, and I didn't go tonight. We go both services. So
Ooh.
I'll just wait this out.
Okay. Have they suggested anything diet wise, changing up what you're eating, any other holistic?
Yeah, we've kind of looked at all that diet stuff, and I don't know that I have found anything that really makes a difference, because the first thing you look at is caffeine.
Right.
Before that, you look at your water intake. My water intake is fine. Caffeine, I don't know that it really makes that much difference one way or the other. Because I've gone for days without caffeine and my head hurts.
Okay.
It still hurts. So I just don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
So
And
it's just something that I deal with.
yeah, because I mean, if I were you, I'd be trying as many other, even if it's ridiculous, any other holistic suggestions. I mean, obviously, nothing that would be detrimental to your health or any other portions of your health. But, if somebody said that some of these wacky, crazy routines help, and, I'd give them a try. Have you looked up or is there anybody else who's in your similar situation or who you think is similar to your situation that you could reach out to, maybe see how they've overcome their headaches. Maybe they've
I've
had
talked
headaches
to
for years.
dozens and dozens of people about headaches,
Okay.
and I've done almost everything that anybody's ever told me. I have spent thousands of dollars out of pocket on natural type things
Okay.
to try to I tried this stuff. I called it miracle water. It literally tasted like water out of a swimming pool. Spent hundreds of dollars on it. No, thousands of dollars on it out of pocket. No, not out of pocket, on a credit card because I didn't have any money because I wasn't working. and did it for months because, a lot of people got great results. So I've done a few things like that. I'm always open to new ideas, but I have really tried a lot of things and I just don't find that anything helps me. And I don't like medication. I don't know what else to do. I've been doing this for 2.5 years now,
Yeah. And there
but
hasn't
I
been
refuse to let it
there has
run my
been
life.
no short period of time where you felt okay or really good that wasn't due to medication. It was just for some reason that
Oh,
particular
yeah.
day.
I just had 7 days that were really good.
Okay.
And after about 3 or 4 days, I started kind of winding down and my body started getting really tired. And then from there, it went into the headache. So my headache really started on Friday.
Okay.
It was pretty bad on Friday, but I had things to do, so I pushed all the way through the headache on Friday.
Okay.
Saturday, got up, wanted to do absolutely nothing. I had to go to a baby shower. So I go to the baby shower, I come home, head is worse until, and then today it's just, okay, I just have to stop and I literally can't do anything today. But yeah, I had several days that were really good and I made a lot of videos and, on the videos I'm doing good, Mike is doing good, man, we're just rocking and rolling. And then all of a sudden, boom, I'm done. So I don't last very long once I perk up.
Okay. Is there anything different about those days? Nothing different? How you feel? What you think about? Nothing
No,
slightly different? Anything?
no, I'm very, very good with my environment. I'm gonna make some of those environment videos. I promise you, the only reason that I do the amount that I do, which is
Okay.
on the amount of low, but it's the best I can do, is
Okay.
because I'm very, very careful with my environment, and I know exactly what to do when my mind starts going south.
Okay.
Um, I am a religious person,
All right.
and God is very important to me, and I know how to pray. But environment, talking about, I get a huge boost out of comments on YouTube. All our social interaction, you're part of that little group that, gives me a huge boost that I'm in. And being in, your little private group that you have, your empowerment group, that's part of my environment in addition to the environment that I create in my home. So I am very, very careful. Whoops, I have zero negative. I'm on the phone and it gave me a notification.
Uh, okay.
I have zero negative people live in my life. I don't have anybody negative in my home. I don't have any negative people in my life because that's just not the environment that I'm in.
All right.
So I have a really good environment. I hear a lot of things that Evan talks about environment, and I'm like, or I'll read people's comments about their environment, and I'm like, wow, I guess everybody doesn't live like me. I have a really good environment. So yeah, those things are in check. Just my head is not.
Okay. Huh.
I really don't have any answers. I mean, I've just looked and looked and looked and tried to figure out. So I just push through and I make the most of it. And this is not my whole life. I will be 51 this week, but
Oh,
I'm not living the rest of my life with my head like this. And I'm not living the rest of my life on such a low, slow motion mode. I refuse to do it.
all
This is
right.
not my life. This is just a moment in time. It's not the rest of my life.
That's
Period.
true. No, that's. I mean, I, I'm so taken back that there hasn't been at least one specialist, one doctor that hasn't figured something out, hasn't found something, some connection, some change, some. I mean, what they asked you what's different between 2.5 years, the day before and the day after the first headache? Was there something different between those particular days? Did an
Yeah,
event happen?
I went to Honduras in
Okay.
July of 2012. I came home in that same month and started headaches. And I have been over that with every doctor. And well, I just finished just this week. Today is Sunday. On Wednesday was my last day of a 30-day antibiotic for Lyme's disease.
Okay.
My doctor that I currently have, I've only had him for about a year. He is just willing to jump out of the box and just try a bunch of different things. And so he didn't test me for it. He just put me on an antibiotic for 30 days. And I said, okay, but I don't think it's done anything. So I don't think Lyme disease is a problem. But Lyme disease comes from ticks. Sometimes you can get it
Yeah.
from mosquitoes. You can have it for years. When I looked it up, though, I have every symptom of it, but I just finished the antibiotic and I'm not better. So I'd say that that was not helpful.
So he's just trying different random
Yeah.
medications.
Yeah, medications. And I went to a doctor for, sometimes I have trouble with dizziness. So I went to a dizzy clinic that we have here in town. I did some videos on that
I
too.
remember
And
that. I
he
remember that.
stopped me from going. He said, no, I don't want you going back, because they had me doing a lot of stuff that was swinging my head
Okay.
around. I had a car accident almost a year ago. So in 2014, I had a car accident. I already had trouble with headaches and fatigue. I had already, I was already not working. And then the car accident increased the ringing in my ears. So I've had ringing in my ears since I was in my 20s.
Okay.
Over time, it's gradually increased. It's pretty loud. It's been pretty loud. No big deal. I don't ever even mention it, because I am,
Are you used to
it's
it?
just something that I work around. Not a big deal, but it is loud. The car accident has made it so loud that I think it affects my entire life now. And so I went to the dizzy clinic, and they were trying to rebalance, what's in your head. And then I went back to my doctor and told him what was going on, and he said, "No, I don't want you going back, and I don't think that's what you need right now." He didn't say no forever, but right now because it seemed like it was agitating the ringing in my ears. It is so loud, I just can't take something making it any worse.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Obviously, I can recommend any medication. I don't know what other, holistic natural things, or what you have tried versus what you haven't. Um,
I
yeah.
currently take a zinc tablet, and I also take powdered magnesium.
Okay.
So I'm taking those because those are supposed to help with your head.
Okay.
So those are natural things I'm taking, in addition to a really low dose of medication twice a day
Okay.
that I think is helping a tiny bit, but it's not doing not doing the job. But I just refuse to take any more of it. I think it makes me a little bit more tired. I'm already really fatigued.
Okay.
Taking medication to make it worse makes my life worse, and I just don't want to take any more. So I just manage it.
I mean, I'm with you. I think I may just try to do some research myself, just because. Not that I'll find anything that you haven't found already. It's just, it seems like there should be something, at least be an answer as to what the problem is. Even if they know for certain they can't help you, it will at least be helpful to at least tell you, this is what happened, here's why, and this is the most that you can do.
I agree. I wish somebody would tell me, why does my head do this? And it's
Right.
all, you can literally take my head right down the middle and separate it. The whole right side of my head has a lot of extra sensation, pain. It has like its own thing going on in addition to just the headache. It's like a headache plus the right side of my head. And that's what's
the
really
right
going
side
on.
of your head.
Yeah, and I don't know what it is. I even had a root canal done that I didn't even need to have done, but he said, "Hey, I can redo that root canal. We'll see if they didn't get all the root out." I went to that was a specialist that did that. It wasn't my dentist.
Okay.
And went and had a root canal done that I didn't need to have done, and sure enough, the root was all gone, so that didn't even help. I've done some really random stuff. Getting a root canal for no reason is pretty random.
Pretty random.
Yeah, it's pretty random, and it didn't do the job. It wasn't what I needed.
Yeah, I'll look at some stuff for you, just to
I appreciate
go
that.
your way. If I find something interesting, I'll send it to you. If it helps, it helps. If it doesn't, we'll keep looking. But you have a lot of folks here that are supporting you.
I
Will
know.
be
I appreciate it.
positive for you on those good days and even the bad ones. So
Appreciate that.
it's you're doing a lot better, and I think a lot of people, if they're in pain that long, it's hard for them to stay with a positive mindset and be
I
so
agree. It's
nice
pretty tough.
and sharing with
It's an
other folks.
it's an everyday thing, and it's an everyday decision.
Right. Right.
My headache is not my life. my headache is just impairing what I want my life to be. This is a. Do you go to church at all? Are you?
I am not super religious. I am. I've gone growing up when I was smaller, and I still stay in touch with it. My fiance's father is actually a pastor, so we kind of interact with him that way.
Okay. I was just wondering how you were going to follow what I was going to say. I was just going to say that I get really frustrated because I can't do what I want to do. There are so many things that I want to do. You know, we've got our YouTube channels, and that's pretty much my life is my YouTube channel because I can't do anything else. So I get frustrated because I can't do more. And then I finally realized, okay, if God wanted me to do XYZ, I would have the health to do XYZ.
Right.
And because I'm not making myself sick, not on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to understand that if it was my lot in life to do XYZ, God would make sure I was doing XYZ. So when I started looking at it like that, then every time I get frustrated, I slow down and I look at that and I'm like, okay, so God, you don't want me doing XYZ. XYZ is what I want to do. So what can I do in this ABC where I'm actually at?
Right.
You know, God, what can I do and what is your plan for me in the middle of the ABC? Because I can't it's like being in a box. I can't get out of the box that I'm in. I can't work part-time. I can't work full-time. Our finances are in terrible, terrible shape. I just think one day they're going to be okay. And my mother passed away in 2014, and I still have her house down in Texas. It's being rented out.
Okay.
And they want to purchase the house. So I am hoping their credit apparently is a problem. They just approached me a few months ago. So it should be about straightened out. So maybe in the next few months they'll buy the house and that doesn't solve my problem, but it will sure be a step in the right direction.
All right. No, that's a good outlook. I mean, that's you're taking what you're given and you're making the best out of it, which is more than what a lot of folks will say. And the important part is that you're very self-aware of it, and that you actually, like you said, you take a step back and take another look at the situation and say how you can really truly appreciate it, make the best of it, do what you can do with that time. Just as you were talking about, you know, making the switch from communications to music, having that awareness to know that, hey, you know, this may just not be for me, and maybe, but there's this other thing over here that I enjoy, and it seems
Right.
to work better with my current situation and my skill set. Why not try it? So, did you have you had that conversation with the counselor?
No, I'm still waiting on a phone call back.
Okay.
She's usually a little bit faster, so she's either super busy
Okay.
or something's going on because they have my counselor there. She's just fabulous. She's like Johnny on the spot, fabulous.
Nice. Okay.
So I will hear from her. It might be something that she has to actually check with in the music department because I was in the adult accelerated program. Oh, am I echoing on your side?
You are not.
Okay, because I can hear it. So it might be something that she has to check on because I really don't know if I have any classes at all that will transfer because every degree, you know, you have to have the certain classes.
Right.
So I don't know, and I just couldn't tell by looking at the not recommendations, but the whatever it is they require. I just couldn't tell by looking at it. I looked about 3 different times and I just left the voicemail.
Okay. Yeah, it's safe choice to just work with the counselor, see what they tell you, get it mapped out, see how it works out. Do you have it'll be fun to watch you learn the piano. My mother actually picked up the piano later on, and now she's not a pro. She has gotten pretty good at it, so I mean, it's definitely something you can pick up and run with, have fun with. Y'all have one in the house now, right? Or no?
Yeah, I got a keyboard in December.
Okay.
That I've been working with.
Okay.
And I'm trying to get the phone to plug up here. the little you are out almost out of power button went off.
Yeah. I think other than that, I was going to ask you about so you have your 4 things that you want to get done, right? For
Oh
the
man,
channel and the
I
site.
am on the ball on that. Okay, now let's talk about that. Now that's exciting. Let's not talk about the head no more. That's boring. Okay, now let's talk about what's important in life. Okay, I was on the Blab with Evan Carmichael
All right.
on Thursday. You know, he does all of his stuff on Thursday.
Yes.
And I can pretty much get on anything because I kind of don't have a life, so I can do all this stuff. So I got on the Blab, and part of what made the difference was that I actually got to ask my own personal question. And I asked 2 questions. I called in live. Oh, I got to tell you
I
something
remember
funny.
I was there.
Were you? Oh, that's right. I forgot you were there. Yeah, I gave like 20,000 props or something. I have a famous face on that forever. I'm famous now.
I was trying to figure out what was going on there.
You see the guy in the chat say, "Can you stop with the high fives?" And I'm like, "I can't." And then I called in. I'm like, "Guys, look at my hands. I'm not touching anything. It's all by itself." It was autumn. I don't know what happened. It was stuck.
Hey, it gives them a lot of attention.
Total. Yeah, but it gave me a little bit of the wrong attention.
Yeah, well, okay.
So anyway, when I got off of the Blab, I've had a website since I started my YouTube channel.
Okay.
I've never met this guy. His name is Michael Linton. He's out of Jacksonville, Florida. I've never met him, but I met him through social media several years ago. And I had him set up a website the same time I started my YouTube channel.
Okay.
Well, at some point last year, probably last summer, he completely redid everything, redid all the websites, and he redid my website. Well, something happened after it came up. It went down. And I'm not on my website all the time, so I don't know how long it was down, but I finally noticed it. And I contacted him, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I have to redo the whole thing, from top to bottom." And he was really worried about his father out in the Virgin Islands at the time. That's where he's from.
Okay.
And I said, just put me on the bottom because I wasn't using my website. I don't know what to do with it. I know that it's important. I'm just really lost with this whole business thing. Well, then a few weeks ago, I got some ideas about my website, and one of them was the Amazon affiliate. Okay, so I was in the very first video lab that Tim Smoyer did.
Okay.
There are 5 of us.
Okay. I've seen some of the video labs. I don't know. I didn't see yours though. I think I saw a second one.
Okay. Yeah, the very first one that he had was about a year ago. It was like February, March of last year that he had the very first one. It was 10 weeks long. Well, there are 5 of us from that video lab that are on Skype every single Friday afternoon. And we talk about our channel and YouTube and Tim and all this stuff.
Okay.
And all of them are Amazon affiliates, and they all make a little bit of money through the Amazon affiliate. And I have stuff that I've purchased that I use on my videos, so I legitimately could put links in. I just never looked at it and wasn't interested before. Well, now I'm interested, and my website's still down. I called my web guy about 4 times. Phone was turned off. I sent him a text message twice. I contacted him on Facebook once. I contacted him through Facebook Messenger once. Well, I never thought about email. When I sent him an email, he's like, "Oh, well, I'll be in the office ready to roll Wednesday morning," which is in the next few days.
Okay.
Well, when I get ready to do something, I'm ready to go. Like yesterday, I'm ready to go, and there's like no stopping me when I'm ready to go. So I called 1&1 is who I use for my website, my domain and stuff.
Okay.
I called them, had them direct my domain back to myself, back to 1&1, so he can no longer even touch it. And so I'm just going to build my own. But you know what? I already paid for my own website, and I've paid that guy almost $1,000 out of pocket, out of cash, out of pocket.
What, for the original one or just?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
the one that he had up. So what I would do is I would email him the link to my videos, and he would put them up on my website every day.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So now I've already looked in there and picked out a template, and I'm like, man, I don't really know how to do this. I'm going to see if my husband will help me a little bit, but since I was on the Blab, they said it doesn't have to be complicated. But I'm going to go in there, make my own website, capture those emails. I think I probably need to do something free, like like the Chimp Monkey or something, because
Yeah, MailChimp. MailChimp.
Mailchimp. Nobody is what is going to my website. I don't have a reason for a paid service because I have zero activity going on. So I think
That makes sense.
So I think maybe later on I could do that. So I was looking for a template to do a newsletter. Like I'm ready to roll with the newsletter. I have to figure out how to do it. So let's just make the newsletter all about videos.
All right.
And so I can maybe make a few ahead of time. I don't think I can do it on a weekly basis because of my health. I barely get these videos out on a lot of weeks. Some weeks, man, I mean, I'm rocking and rolling. And other weeks, I'm like, I just barely get my videos out. I don't think I need to throw a newsletter in, but maybe if I did a newsletter every 2 weeks to start out with, I think a weekly newsletter is better. But
Yeah,
I might not even have anybody sign up for a newsletter, so I don't know that it matters at this point.
that's fine. It's so you're at an interesting point because I guess it's really relevant to what I've been doing lately, kind of behind the scenes. Is I've known about all these things I need to do, and I just haven't really taken the time to finally do them.
Yeah, me
Like,
too.
let me see if I can share my
But I just didn't know
screen.
what to do or how to do it before because I keep hearing about it because they just pound into us. You need emails, you need a newsletter, you need a website, and I'm like, but no, I don't because nobody cares. But now I,
It's
hmm?
Go ahead.
But now I'm feeling like I'm getting ready to move and grow, and like this is fixing to happen for me.
All right.
I mean, for look, I've made $114 now. I mean, I'm rocking and rolling now. So it's time to move, man. We're making money. Let's go.
Um, yeah, I mean, I wish I was making any AdSense money. I'm really not, nor is really my focus. I mean, I've played around with it. I've turned it on some videos, and it's it's not my focus at the moment in any
It's
way,
not
shape,
my
or form.
focus, but it's free.
It's right. That is true. That is very true.
I'm not doing anything different to get this money, but you need to have that turned on every single video that you have. Monetize all your videos because it's free.
Right.
And now they've
Um,
got the YouTube Red. We're making money from YouTube Red too.
that I'd be more interested in. It's So for me, it's about legitimacy of the experience. And so if having an ad there that's only gonna pay me like 1 cent is gonna take away from the experience of the viewer, it's
No,
not
it
worth
doesn't
it
take
for me.
away. No, it's
Um,
part of YouTube. People expect that. You need to monetize your videos.
I guess. I don't know. I've had different. There's other people. And I've thought both ways. I've had
Yeah.
and I've heard both sides. I have another guy that I watch he's not very anti AdSense. He kind of shares the opinion I have about it, and so I kind of identify with his view a little bit more.
I
It's
didn't
just how
turn
it
it
just
on for a
worked
year.
out. Hmm?
I didn't turn on AdSense for a whole year because of what you just said.
Okay.
I had
Okay.
the same thinking and I have totally changed my mind. People expect it. It's part of YouTube, and people that really watch YouTube, they pay $10 a month to not have ads, and we still get paid.
Right. I mean, I'm gonna
So
continue to.
it's just part of it.
Yeah. Um, Yeah, I have them on some of the videos. Some of them I don't. And for me, also, a lot of my videos have there's a complication that I have to work out with the guy who's the music I always use. I always get strikes for them, but I legally
Why?
bought that music. It's just that he hasn't gone on to remove the strikes. And for me, the process of having to go in, have him remove all the strikes versus the amount of AdSense I get. Again, the time doesn't equate for me. So I always make things on an economical decision versus my time, energy, and how much I get back for it. So that's how I look at it right now. It'll get worked out though, because of I'm trying to work out a deal with him. So I'm gonna see how that works out. I'm trying to see if I can get an exclusive music deal with them.
That $114 was 1 cent at a time.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's very true. But in terms of systems, there was one question from the Blab about text services. I actually have a text service already, so I'm gonna start incorporating that into the videos.
What's a text?
It's useful to have those things there. So that being able to capture the emails, having the website for people to go to. I'm changing up my website now. I did some work on that earlier. Do some work on that tomorrow. It's good to have that there. And then I use GetResponse. At least I did use GetResponse. I'm actually going to shift to Aweber. But it's pretty. You can set up templates inside of it. I don't know how MailChimp works. You usually set up a template. It's usually pretty straightforward. It doesn't take a long time once you have the template in there. And you can just plug in your video. Don't even have to. Maybe you make your. What you can do is, if you word your descriptions of your videos a certain way, you can almost copy and paste that into the newsletter, change it up a little bit, make it a little bit more personable for the newsletter, and just send it. That way you're not spending that much more time. That's one way to cut down on it. I was just thinking another hack. You definitely should put your products that you review, because I know you said you're going to do product reviews. It's natural for you to have a page up on your website for the product reviews, just dedicated to that.
Oh, okay, that's a good idea. I want to do those 1 time a week, and that's about my health, because that's a whole different setup.
Right.
I mean, I have to look good, I have to sound good, I have to sit in the right spot. I can't just make a video when I'm doing those. Those are different.
Yeah.
And I want to do them once a week, and I can't seem to get them up.
And the magic about that series of videos,
yeah,
for you, and then as you think about your newsletter, is you don't necessarily have to do those on time. So you can go back and write newsletters on your old products. They don't have to be up to date.
That's what I was thinking.
And so on those days that you're feeling really good, you do 2 or 3 newsletters, and then when you have your email client set up, you can drip them to your audience. So that way they're just getting one at a time, but you've written them ahead of time. So once you get enough in queue, enough in the list, that you're not so worried about having to create newsletters every week. You'll have that information there. So, and then you'll still be able to profit if people like the product itself. It's very relevant for you. You'll be able to naturally talk about it because it's something that you use. It's dealing with health. Health is a timeless thing. As long as it's not something that's been now deemed unhealthy by the FDA, you're in pretty good shape. And it's an interesting thing to talk about. So that's a powerful thing for you. It'll be easy. Something you can drip over time. Again, a penny at a time. So there'll be a newsletter at a time that you write it, build that up, and it'll save you some time down the line and still fulfill that need to get that out there. Do you have Go ahead.
I was just saying, where is the template for the newsletter that you're talking about? Because I need a template, and I looked in Google Drive, and I couldn't really find something I liked.
I don't know that you can always Google email template. You may get good things, you may get bad things, you may get folks that are gonna charge you for. You'll find those sales pages. They're charging you, hey, you get my pre-made templates for my $1 million email campaigns. You may find those. There's value in some of those. I'm not gonna. I don't. I know I say that kind of in a as I'm bashing them. In reality, though, some of that content is good, some of it not as good. And if you really look at it, there's always something you can learn, at least one thing you can pull from it, because a lot of them follow the same formula. And the formula isn't necessarily wrong. It's just that everybody's trying to cash in on the same thing, so it kind of dilutes the quality of the concept. But there's
Okay.
always something there. I typically, when I write my emails out, I try to, there's a few cardinal rules. One, you try to make it seem like you're just talking to that person. They're not stupid. They're going to know that you're been sending this to more than one person. It's a psychological technique. When people are reading something that's really meant, it's addressed to them directly. It makes it easier for them to connect with it. Same thing with when you speak. Like if I'm speaking to a crowd, you're supposed to use the word you instead of they or us or all of you all. You're supposed to say the word you, and people will connect with that a lot better. So it's the same thing with writing. I try to keep it personal. I try to add color. I try to incorporate as many of the senses into my writing as possible.
Okay.
If you go back and some of my older blog posts I've done, they're pretty colorful. I try to bring as many senses as I can when I write. It helps you stay engaged. Again, it's another just psychological hack. Whenever you're engaging with an audience, whether you're speaking or writing, the more senses that you make work, the better. So that's why if somebody's writing something, they will say, you looked over the hill of the valleys and you felt the feel of the wind while you smelled the fresh flowers of the fields that way. And you're bringing in all those other senses, even if they're just reading something. They're having to mentally go through and start bringing those other senses, and it helps keep you engaged. So those are a couple of things in terms of things you should always include when you're writing or speaking.
Yeah, that's good. I'm not on. I don't get your newsletter. I'll go in there and sign up for it.
Okay. And it's there's nothing there yet. Now there's things coming now. There'll be some good. I'm making the hop at the same time from WordPress over to Weebly, which is a different website making service, and then I'm making the switch from GetResponse to Aweber. So I'm in a system kind of building phase right now, and then after the system is built out, then I'm going to start pumping out content. One of the parts of my system is I already outlined a list of emails I'm going to write out, and then I'm already going to go ahead and just write those ahead of time by the end of this month. So I have about 8 to 10 emails already worked out for new subscribers, for existing folks, and they'll just go out. I used to do at least a weekly, or if not a monthly, newsletter that I've dropped off just because time-wise I had to let something drop, and that's what I let drop. So I'm gonna get back to doing it weekly and just trying to stay ahead of the game. So
so tell me this: how do you get emails on your website? Is that the MailChimp that pulls that email, or how does that work?
How do you get that? How do you extract the information? So how do you get them to go in and subscribe?
Yeah, like where do you get that little thing that pops up that says, "Oh, enter your email here for my newsletter"? Where does that come from?
It depends on what are you going to use to build your site with? Do you know?
One-on-one.com. Like I pay them over $100 a year to use them.
Okay.
What I didn't know is that I can actually build a website with up to 5 pages in it for free. I pay for that and didn't even know it.
Okay.
It's because I really don't know what I'm doing. I really need somebody to help me, but I manage, I guess.
I was gonna say the only reason I'm switching from WordPress, I love WordPress is good because essentially you just pay for the hosting, which is $10, and then you pay for $10 a month, and then you just pay for your web address, which is depending on how fancy your web address is, could range from maybe $8 a year to more. It depends. But WordPress is really good for simple websites because you can make as many pages as you want. The only trouble with WordPress is you're on your own. Weebly is very simple. The only reason I'm making this switch is because there are certain systematic things I want on the back end of my website that are too complicated for WordPress for me to do on my own and for it to work properly. That's the bigger caveat is I had some things built on my website. I had a guy I paid about $300 some to work on it, and it's okay, but some things don't work correctly because they come from the plugins come from different sources.
Okay.
And so Weebly is kind of like Apple. Apple only allows certain apps coming on theirs. Yeah. That's how it is. WordPress is more like the Wild West. Anything can go on there. Weebly is,
Oh,
the
okay.
apps are certain things that have to be vetted through
Got it.
Weebly themselves, so they all work as they should.
Okay.
That's mainly what I want, is to make sure that it works. I don't need to be complicated. I can do more and be fancy on WordPress if I had somebody I wanted to pay to build out the entire thing.
Okay.
But Weebly, I can do it on my own, keep it simple, and keep it simple, really. Keep it simple, get it done, and it works. And that's the main part. In terms of the subscription thing, there are different plugins you can use to pull that in. And typically what you would do is One-on-One may have a plugin or an app that connects to the site.
Okay.
And then you would go in that plugin settings and you would connect it. And there's some information you need to get from MailChimp, usually API code, something like that. You would input into the plugin, and then you stick the plugin onto your website. There may be one for MailChimp, I'm not sure, but that's typically how it works.
Okay, so the plugin comes from the website host.
Usually, MailChimp may have one. I don't know how one-on-one is set up. So,
And I don't.
MailChimp may have one.
Okay, yeah, I'm working on it. The template that I saw that I liked for the website, and I'm guessing if I don't like it, I can go in there and change it. But
Right.
it's 6 pictures. Like when you open it up, the entire page is 6 photos.
Okay.
So I can make that 6 videos, or I can make it 6 photos, or the one right in the middle, I can set that one up to be the autoplay where it says, "Welcome to my website. This is what I'm doing." And then to really direct them over to my YouTube, because my website, I don't know what to do with it. I never have.
Okay.
But the guy when we did Blab, he gave me permission to be really simple. So I thought, okay, I had it simple before. I'll do it simple again. And I get up to 5 pages, and I can just, start with the first page if I want to, and then go from there. But I can get their email address on that first page, have the auto video play when they first get there, and then the other videos around there can, you click on them and you can watch a video from there. It would be my YouTube, but it would be accessed right from the front page.
Okay.
I don't know. There's a million website designs out there. That was just the one that I saw on there that I liked. They have like a lot of options.
Is it One-on-One, like the number one on number
no.
one?
Yeah, the number one, AND, the number one.com, oneand1.com. Yeah.
Just take a look.
So I have an email address that's just for YouTube. And it hasn't worked for a long time. And I asked my web guy, does this have anything to do with you? Oh, no, nothing to do with me. So I've had to call One-on-One 3 times. You know why I haven't been able to use the email? Because it's tamaraweeks.com. And somehow he's got the whole domain directed over to him. So he's got my email directed to him. So I have the whole thing back now. So I have an email that's eleganceisprofessional.com. That's a personal email.
Okay.
And then I've got videoblog@tamaraweeks.com. That's supposed to be for YouTube. Okay. And then my website is tamaraweeks.com, but it's down.
Okay.
And so I was just telling you what I have with One-on-One. I have the Elegance is Professional is my personal domain that I own. So that can be a website, but I only use the email. tamaraweeks.com. I'm going to reset that up for a website, and then I have an email with that. So I have 2 emails plus a website, but then potentially, I have the other website I can do. So I have 2 websites, 2 emails. That's what I have with One-on-One, and they're the hosting, etc.
Okay. Yeah, you should be able to get to it through. You should have a back office kind of control panel area that you can get to and access, and then you should be able to set up a shortcut or some type of other way. What I did, and what you may want to consider,
okay,
and it saved me time and energy, and it's one of the things of me being able to incorporate it. So I wanted to make everything a very complete and streamlined system for myself.
Right.
And that's really what period I'm in, is because I want, when things grow, I want it
Right.
to be simple now, so that way when things grow, it's easy to manage and handle.
I
So I know
agree.
you're saying, well, you only have a certain amount of people, and nobody's going to the website. I would set it up as if not putting a ton of money into it,
Right.
right? Because Evan is big on it, and it makes economical sense. Don't pay for something until you're making money on it. But as much
Right.
as you can, set it up as if you think you're going to get 1 million people tomorrow. How can you simplify that process? And so for
Okay.
me, I have all of my emails now routed to my Gmail account, to the one Gmail. I have
You
multiple
know what?
emails, and they
I
all
just
go
did
to
the
my
same
Gmail.
thing. I just did the same thing.
Okay, good.
I just did it too. Yep. I don't
Good.
like Gmail, but I'm trying to use it more, and I really wish somebody could sit down next to me and just walk me through it. I know there's tutorials and I blah 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 blah, but um I just have to work with it some more. But if I could, I'd have somebody just sit down with me, look at my email, and help me make it all make sense and just get it done, because it's not done. But when I call 1-in-1, I had them direct both of my emails over to Gmail, so now everything is in the same spot.
Okay, good.
So I just did that, and now I don't know what to do with it, but at least it's all in one spot.
They don't know. It makes all the difference. It helps me out. I know where to check. All my important emails are going to the same place, so it makes life
So
easier. It's one
so
app.
tell me how where are your different email addresses going? Because I have Gmail, and then I have the YouTube email, and then I have the Elegance is Professional, and I don't know where they are. They're just coming in, but I don't know where they are.
So the way, let me see. I think how I set mine up. So when I set mine up, as I try to get back to the settings that I had here, let me take a look. So I go under settings.
Yeah.
And then you went to accounts and import, right? Go to accounts
No,
and import.
I just call 1-in-1 and let them do it.
Okay.
They just redirected it.
I set mine up from within Gmail itself, which,
Okay.
and what that does is that when Gmail pulls it in, you can set it
Right.
up so it has a label on it. So I set it up so I have my labels for the different email addresses on the left-hand side.
Folder. Okay, like a folder?
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
okay.
Right. So
Like I have a folder for Evan. All of Evan's emails go into one folder. Is that what you mean?
right. Well, so when you're in Gmail,
Mm-hmm.
there's a label that sometimes will pop up on something if you've labeled it, and it'll
Yeah.
show it in the list. It'll also be on the left-hand side. So it's not necessarily I guess you can say it's a folder. I mean, I'm so used to Yahoo too. So I use Yahoo, and Yahoo uses folders. They don't use labels.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Email
Okay.
does the labels, and they have the tabs at the top as well.
Okay.
So I just label mine. I can get them separately, or I can see them easily in the list based off of the label that I set them up with.
Okay.
And just makes it easy.
Okay.
I mean,
I just had that done on Friday afternoon, so I haven't been in there too much.
okay, good. Okay, well, it's progress though. Yeah, being able to get them from there is easy. It'll make things a lot easier. I'm trying to think if you had any. So website, Amazon, capture email addresses. Okay. I don't know if you have any. If there's anything with your website or your email that you want. I'm trying to see if there's anything I can walk through, but you don't have the same systems as I do. So I don't know that I can do any walkthrough videos for you. I'm definitely here to answer any questions, though. If you take any screenshots or something, I can always try to figure stuff out.
I appreciate that.
I think what else?
Yeah, right now I'm just gonna make my website.
Okay.
The only thing about the website is that nobody can see it until I actually go live, because what I'd really like to do is say, hey guys, can you take a look at my website and tell me, does this at all work? I guess I can make it live and go in there and change it.
Right.
because literally I'm not going to have 1 million people looking at it tomorrow when it goes live. But yeah, I am so ready. Like I'm feeling inside, okay, I've got all these steps and I am ready to grow and I'm fixing to be big. You just watch me, sonny boy. I am big and my persona is going to change because I'm at a whole new level of confidence. In my mind, I am big right now. I'm big.
I can feel the excitement, though. I can feel it right now.
Who cares about this head? I am big.
Oh man. Okay. All right. Well, it's 7:22. It's the longest, good long session. I do need to get on to probably spend some time with the family before I get any other work done for the night. If you have any other questions, put them in keep putting them in the group. We'll see each other on YouTube. I'm always here to help as much as I can. So, I got your back. I got your
I know
back.
you do. I appreciate that. I know you did, and I appreciate it very much. Yeah, and I love talking about stuff like this. Like if we were live in person, I could just talk to you all day long and we'd never have changed subjects. We just talk about YouTube and videos and email and websites and where we're going and how we're going to get there. I love talking about that. I'm not in the right communities online. And I know you have to go, but I am not in the blogger community.
Okay.
I'm not in the community where cerebral palsy is. My audience is cerebral palsy.
Right.
Justin, I'm not interested in all that stuff. I love the stuff where we're thinking and I love the stuff that Evan has.
Right.
Like the stuff that you have. You're talking about challenges and growing and those I wouldn't really say I'm a business person, but I love talking about that stuff and learning about it and hearing about it. That's got nothing to do with my audience, but that's the stuff that I love. There's a little bit of a disconnect. I don't know what to do except just continue to do what I'm doing because I don't really want to watch videos of people that have cerebral palsy. I'm not interested.
Okay.
I'm a mother because this is what God gave me and I do the best I can with it. And I don't mind sharing it, but I don't really want to get deeply involved in the community of it, which I know doesn't make any sense. Oh, let me tell you one more thing. 3 people, now this is going to flip you out. Just hang on. 3 people in my community, meaning subscribers on my channel, have my personal cell phone number and they send me text messages and we talk. They all have cerebral palsy. I don't mind because I love chatting and talking. People are coming from my YouTube audience over to my personal Facebook page and I am friending them.
Okay.
I asked about that on Blab. This is a different conversation, but I think that's okay for me to do that, and we'll talk about that at another time. But my community is growing, and people communicate with me, and it's growing little by little. But at some point it's going to be huge. I mean, like it's going to be too big for me to handle. Where I have so much personal communication, people contact me through Facebook Messenger, through now I've got 3 people talking to me on text message.
Wow. Okay.
I also had somebody 2 days ago call me and we did a video call on Facebook. Through the Facebook where you can call somebody on the app and we did, like a live video thing and Micah got on there and said hello. Micah loved it. But it's a lot of communication that is slowly adding up for me and it's coming like from all over the place. I don't know where I was going with that. I think there was a point, but I forgot what it was.
Are you thinking of trying to find a way to consolidate your communication? Like have it come through?
No, I don't really know exactly what to do. I mean, right now it's manageable, but it is slowly, piece by piece, we'll say month by month, it is growing where people are communicating on a personal level with me and I absolutely love it. But at some point it's going to be like, wow, I can't do this much personal communication as much as I love it.
Okay.
I know. I was talking about community. That's what I was talking about, community.
I was going to say, I'll leave on this one. And I think, kind of listening to Evan,
Yeah.
It is kind of how I try to manage my priorities. But that the kind of the signs are there, the proof is there, the tips are there, whether we listen to them or not or aware of it. And, he talks about guarding his time, and I think about how, 'cause I feel how you feel in terms of kind of how I got to the point where I'm connecting with so many folks on YouTube that it gets crazy. And so I start to say, okay, well, at some point you got to have a systematic way of handling it. And it's not always,
Yeah.
it gets, tears you up inside because the warm and fuzzy part of you wants to so much just to be able to respond to everybody immediately, talk to everybody every day. At the same time, though, I always look at it like this: is the more I'm able to get done, the bigger I'm able to grow, the more I can do for more people, and then I'll have more resources later on to come back and serve them. So, like today, I just went through and responded to comments that were a few days old.
Right.
For your particular, for the empowerment group, I said, okay, at least within 2 days, I'll make sure that at least I look through a comment, I respond to it, I like it, or let you know I'm gonna get back to, or I'm gonna at least try to address it in the videos every week. And the main part, I give that 48 hours because I don't want to. I've already told myself, and actually told my group, and when I was doing a presentation in San Francisco, I was telling them that they want to deliver on quality, and I tell them, like, look, I try to over deliver even when I'm commenting, and so I would rather not respond to a comment than to respond to it with half my energy. And so that's why I give that 48 hours, because sometimes I'll look at a comment that you or Elias will leave, and I know I'm not in the space to give you a real answer. Yeah. And I don't want to give you oh, hey, that's great. Like, I want to be able to actually look at it, absorb it, and then give you a real response that has my energy and focus into it. And so that's why I kind of set those time frames now, is where, okay, I know that I may take a few days to look at certain comments. I'm going to take at least 2 days for the group. There are some folks I will answer in a day. And so I kind of prioritize those things, and it kind of consciously gnaws at you at first. Yeah. You got to at least be straight up with people and set up expectations. So maybe with some of your crowd, some of the folks that contact you, maybe you let them know that, look, I may not be able to respond to you immediately every day. If you set that expectation early, but still remain as genuine as you are, I don't think why, no one will be offended. I think folks will understand, if we were to contact Evan, we're not going to be offended. He takes a week to respond to us. We know he has a lot going on. We also know he's a very legitimate, very empathetic, very excited, very passionate person who is, if he can help, he will. So that's how I look at it now. It helps me feel a bit better on the day-to-day when I know I can't give as much energy as I would like to. Yeah. At the same time, it's time for me to give that energy. I know I can give it fully, and making sure that it's as fair as everybody as possible. So. Right. Yeah. That's what I get. Right.
Yeah. Okay.
So I don't know if that helps or not. Hopefully it does.
Yeah, I've actually started doing that already a little bit.
Okay.
So yeah, especially when somebody writes a super long comment, sometimes you can't answer that right off the top of your head. Yeah. Right. But anyway, all right, you go take care of your family.
All right, I appreciate it. You as well. Take care of the head. Get some rest.
Thank you.
And we'll be chatting. I'm sure we'll be in contact tomorrow, talking. We'll have videos. I'm sure.
Absolutely. Okay, now but before you go, tell me, how are you doing this right here? Are you doing these every Saturday?
Yes, right now every Saturday. Actually, the one thing I did figure out, and I'm happy about, because I'll be able to do blabs now, is I've hooked up my phone to my PC and made it the webcam. I don't need to go buy a webcam now. I can just use my phone as my webcam. So that's what I'm using right now, actually.
Really?
I'm excited about that. It's an app called DroidCam.
Yeah.
And so you can connect that to your PC if you have a PC, and use that as the webcam. Because before, if you're a non-Apple user, you couldn't get on Blab. If you didn't have a webcam, you couldn't get on Blab. So I'm excited to be able to use this. I can get on Blab now. I'm right now just using the Google Hangouts, but hopefully do some blabbing in the future. So,
Okay, cool, cool. Yeah, I can do Blab now. I figured it out with Evan.
good, good.
Okay, cool. All right, so I'm gonna put I'm gonna put an alarm in my phone. Like, do you have an approximate time on Saturday? Usually do it in the morning.
I'm going to be aiming for 9 o'clock as often as I can.
Okay.
I try to give notice, but I'm going to be shooting for 9 o'clock a.m. right now. That seems to be the time that I can find to put the video out there.
Okay.
And as we get more folks in, I have an event on February 5th to the 7th. So I'm
Okay.
hoping to pull some more folks in from the event that I'll be speaking at. So
Yeah, and I want to hear more about your events too and speaking and all that. We talked about me for an hour and I didn't get to ask you about any of that, but I know you have to go. But that is something that I want to hear about how that's really cool that you're speaking and you have events you're speaking at. That's cool.
I'll let you know. You all will get updates. I think I had updates at the end of the last the video I tried to shoot yesterday. The last few minutes were for updates from me and tell them what I was doing.
Okay.
I'm speaking then in February. I'm speaking in February 20th out in Ohio. Then I'm definitely speaking back in San Francisco at the end of April. That's what I have
really
scheduled
cool.
right now. So
Congratulations. That's cool.
thank you.
Yeah, I love that.
All right, I'll let you go. I'm gonna go.
Okay.
Make sure you treat each day as a building block to a better future. And I will see you later.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye.